Well, another Friday is here, and I'm recording another video blog episode of Insights and Ideas to share with you. In the last couple of months, I've had the privilege of experiencing the benefits of mindfulness and meditation work with other lawyers. The New York State Bar Association, of which I'm a proud member, offers a marvelous, free, and very beneficial um, series of offerings um, to that end and in that context. And there are plenty of other non-bar association offerings of that modality as well. So whether you're a lawyer or an allied professional or potential client or just a curious web surfer who happened upon my video blog on YouTube, the idea of mindfulness and meditation is one that you should consider. Hey, I get it. People are busy, people have full lives, people have complicated lives. We're constantly barraged by information. And along with information comes choices, and sometimes the choices are not bilinear or black and white or up and down, but multivariate, and it can cause a feeling of paralysis. It can also cause a sensation of overload, which can lead to wanting to simply shut off one's device. So, quick story on that theme. I often find myself in the evening with unfinished business. And the only way at home to do that unfinished work is on my laptop computer, which is quite old. And I'll be honest with you, I hold on to technology longer than I should. That's a pattern that has been with me as long as there's been computer technology in my life, which is really when dinosaurs had just stopped walking the face of the earth in the early 1990s. 1990s. I can remember holding on to old desktop computers long after everyone else would have thrown them in the trash can or donated them to charity or repurposed them for some other function. And I prided myself on my ability to make old computers work. And I found myself nostalgic when I had a new device for some of the comfort and the convenience of the old device. But I'm talking about in the 1990s. Nobody even has a frame of reference for what I'm describing because people who generally surf the web these days, for whatever reason, are generally the millennials and folks who grew up in the 1990s. So I'm really talking several generations back, and yet these habits of mine persist. And so, anyway, I have a laptop at home. It's about 10 years old. My father, may he rest in peace, Joseph Berman, passed away when that computer was already gathering dust on the shelf and not being used because he was quite ill, battling his final illness. And my mother had purchased it for him probably in 2014, and now we're in the coming into the soon to be in the third quarter of 2025, and I'm still using this darn laptop. And let me tell you something, even though it's an Apple and it has that shiny silvery look of a beautiful Apple product, it ain't it ain't the best thing in the Apple Store. Let me tell you something. The last time I brought it into the Apple Store about 6 to 8 months ago, they shook their heads as if to say, "Who's he? Who's this guy with this old laptop? Get him out of here. We're embarrassed that he's even in the Apple Store with all their glittering, shiny, amazing, beautiful 2025 products that the Apple Corporation offers in today's era of AI, which is for their purposes known as Apple Intelligence. This laptop is the antithesis of Apple Intelligence. If this laptop had to be characterized in that vein, it would be uh, Apple unintelligence because this laptop, there's so much that this laptop can't do. There's so many applications that are simply not feasible and not accepted because Apple has stopped updating the overall operating system. It's unbelievable. The OS for my 2014 Mac Airbook is so dated that 50% of what I would like to do now in 2025 is simply not available. And you know that when technology gets that old, that it's time to throw it in the trash can or give it to a museum, an Apple museum, be that as it may. So on a given evening, if I have unfinished work to do, that I'm actually able to do because it doesn't require all these fancy new, apps. I will sit there straining at the screen and feeling paralyzed because I know there's more work to be done, and yet I'm drowsy, I'm sleepy. This could be 8, 9, even 10 o'clock at night. And when you have your laptop open on your lap, you can't move because you've got your hands on the keyboard. And today's theme for this little talk is mindfulness. And so there is a point to this story, which is being 64 and a half and soon to be a senior citizen next January. I have two choices when that happens. I either fall asleep in front of my open laptop or to close the laptop. But that's the choice that I always make. Even if I'm in the middle of a task and I'm just struggling of how to finish it. Like, you have an email that you've almost 99% sure finished and completed. You want to go back over and read it one more time, or you want to click the send button. You don't really know, should I click send or should I save it as a draft and go back and look at it again later? And you're just on the fence about that. And I'm sitting there like straining my eyes, so tired. These days lately, my solution is to simply close the laptop. Wow. So it's sort of like the proverbial episode of the TV show Chopped from the Food Network, where, the host says, contestants, please walk away from the island, walk away from the cooking table, walk away from the platters, walk away, step back, stop working, hands in the air. And so today is a Friday and it's the end of a long work week for me. I don't know, but if you're a Monday to Friday type of person and you've had a lot going on, as I have over the last week, my week started, believe it or not, exactly a week ago. And I never stopped last weekend. I worked right through the weekend. It's not important what I was doing. That's not the point of the story. The point is I was in workaday mode all day Saturday and all day Sunday, even though I had promised to give myself some time off. And so now it's like day 10 or day 11 of that cycle, and I'm just spent. If you can relate to what I'm saying, that it's probably time to flip down the laptop or take your handheld device and lay it flat, hands away from the gadget, step back, take a deep breath, have a glass of water, take a deep breath of fresh air, and close your eyes and take a couple of deep breaths. Look, I'm not a mindfulness and meditation teacher. I'm an attorney and a writer who has a lot to say. You're the beneficiary of my thoughts today, I hope. And that's really enough. So listen, thank you once again for stopping by. This is the video blog of Carl David Berman, a writer and an attorney, but basically deep down inside, just a simple old human being getting older by the minute. So I will wrap this up. Thank you. Please click the like. Please click, not like, please click the like and subscribe buttons on your app or on your browser so that you can come back and you can receive notifications whenever there's new content. Cheers to you. Surf safe. Have a great day.